Wow, chat, is it just me, or are the older title games a lot better than the new ones? Now, I recently just played a game that I'd never even heard of, come out in 2018, be called Detroit Become Human. Now, this game's an interactive game where you have to make choices, sometimes on the fly, and some of it dialogue. The game starts off as, you start off as a droid called Connor. Now, Connor's being tasked with hunting down deviants. Deviants are basically robots that have started thinking for themselves, and these robots have got human owners who, some of them treat them unfairly, let's say, like, you know, making them do horrible stuff, like they burn them and beat them and stuff like that. And then some of these robots are starting to react late throughout the game as they start thinking for themselves and start taking it out back on the owners sometimes, you know, as you can imagine, committing murders and doing stuff like that. So he is tasked with trying to hunt down the deviants, and this is just one chapter that you start off on the beginning as Connor. As the game branches out, you go over to a guy called Marcus who works with an elderly man. You start off on the game doing simple tasks, let's put it that way, like go to the shop, grab this paint and do this, and then there's a part where you like get pushed over by a human and you get a choice how you want to react. There's multiple ways this game can go. There's like, I believe it branches off like a family tree. You know, a family tree, the way they do all the branching off, it does that. So on what dialogues you pick on one of the chapters will branch off into a different story narrative. Now, I believe there's over 55 different types of way you can play this game, all having different endings and different dialogue choices. So the game really is only around 12 hours. It's only a 12-hour game. But you can play it multiple times, which I have already, by the way. I played it 4 times in a month, one on stream, one we went back on the stream because I made some bad choices. I made some awful choices, and then twice with my partner. So you have the main protagonists, which are Connor, Marcus and Kara. Kara's another robot girl who is brought back to a house, an abusive house, where you'll be looking after a little girl. And yeah, let's just say that each person has a different story, but as the game goes, you're like, where's this going? You got totally different characters, but they all in the end come together. And like I said, multiple dialogue choices. And now, if you are a sucker for dialogue, this is the game to play. You might be familiar with certain games that they've made in the past as well, like Heavy Rain. I'm currently playing Heavy Rain at the moment. It's a game that came out in 2010. Can you believe it? 2010. That one is aged, but it's sort of similar again. It's dialogue and reacting to things. So there'll be parts in the game where you can either be good or bad in this game, depending on your dialogue choices. Now, depending on the dialogue choices you make, you will have companions throughout the game with you. Like, there's a guy called Hank who works at the police station with Connor, who hates androids. He can't stand androids, so you have to try and persuade his opinion in this game to try and get him to like you, which is not easy task, guys, if you played this game. Did you get Hank to like you? It took a lot to try and get Hank to like me on this game, by the way. He was one of the hardest characters to compete with. So you have multiple ways for that to go. As the robots start turning deviant, like I said, deviant is a way of them to start thinking for themselves. The humans start panicking. Depending on the choices you make, mainly as Marcus. Marcus is the leader of the deviants. So whatever choices you make as Marcus, there's a thing called public opinion. So if you make the bad choices, public opinion goes down. If you make the good choices, public opinion goes up. And depends on whether you make good choices in this game or not, it's going to affect certain outcomes in the game, especially with the dialogue options. Say you come across some humans who are about to kill you, that's going to matter on your dialogue choice. Say you try and persuade the humans not to hurt you. Now, if public opinion's low, the dialogue option will fail, and you know, a fight will ensue where you'll have to react with certain buttons. Buttons will flash on the screen as quick as possible, and you have to react to them in a fight scene. But if public opinion's good, they might let you pass. So that's what I mean. There's so many different ways. You can lose characters in this game as well. You can lose them as you go, and that's even worse as well. Like, you'll want to backtrack. Like I said, it's only a 12-hour game, so it's going to want you're going to want to go back at certain points. And you can believe you can, once you finish the game, you can pick the chapters. So you can go back to chapters and try and change the story narrative to what you might want it to happen. And what can I say about the story in this game? It is so rich. It's just such a great story. It's like watching a movie. It's not for everyone, but if you like a game where you have to think in depth, you have to, and to be honest, the parts with Connor are really good. You go to crime scenes and you have to try and find clues and certain evidence, and you can miss evidence. If you miss the evidence again, that's going to change the dialogue options that you get in this game. So it's not for everyone, but if you've got a partner at home or a friend or someone and you want to sit down and play this game and like discuss the options and what you want to do through the dialogue options, definitely play it. Like I said, it came out in 2018, and should you be playing this game? I'm going to rate this game, guys. It's like an 8.8. I'm giving it like an 8.8. 8.8 is a fair score for this game. It went totally under the radar for me in 2018. You might have not seen this game. So I'm suggesting that you should be playing it in 2025, 100%. Go and play Detroit Become Human, guys. It's so freaking cool. Guys, if you're new, don't forget to drop us a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.